Hello, welcome back to Scirocco Automotive. This is Maverick. You might remember Maverick from the last video. If not, you can find that there somewhere. We're doing a good turn for the owners of Maverick. The plan is getting back on the road, minimum viable. Let's just get the guy going so we can go and have a load more adventures. Maverick's very high mileage and he means an awful lot to the owners. Hopefully last time you remember that we found a massive fueling fault, i.e. the fuel wasn't getting into the carburetor because of a gaping hole in the fuel line. We fixed that. Now, I made a bit of a snafu. I ordered a new intake manifold gasket and carburetor guff, all the stuff that we needed to make this run as sweet as a nut. I've been waiting for it for a while. I got a notification today to say that it's showing up today. Happy days. To my house. So we're gonna have to busy ourselves because I'm not going all the way home to pick up an intake gasket. It's a bit windy today. The good news is, I've been waiting for a while now for Maverick to leak because we need to try and find out where the water's getting in so that we can reinstate the interior. Now, I saw on the cameras the other night, old boy's fogging up. If old boy's fogging up, that means there's moisture. So hopefully I'll be able to get in there this morning. We might find some water. We're gonna have to go looking for it. And something else we're gonna look at is finally painting the wheels. I do wanna have a look at the rear wheel bearings. There's a lot of grease around the hubs. That's a big spider. I'm gonna fix that and I'll see you after the opening credits. All right. I hear central locking. We haven't run for a little bit. Let's see what he starts up like. I'll give him a couple of pumps, help him out. Got dash lights. 8 valves. Oh, we may need to adjust the choke. I think we need to adjust the choke. Oh. We may need to adjust the choke. All right. Just wind down my electric windows because we're rolling in style today. I'm glad that worked. He still drives. That's good. Nobody's pinched the gearbox while he's been parked. Excellent. We saw fogging on this window, which means there should be some water somewhere. Yeah, a little bit damp. Not saturated. If I were a leak, where would I be? This sound deadening holds onto, yeah, we got water. Good, that's good. If it's there, we can find it. Yeah, it's coming from quite high up. Interestingly, as you can see, there's not a busting lot of space under here. Check the usual suspects, heater matrix and what have you. Feels humid, doesn't feel wet. I can't smell any coolant. Rusted bracket. Potential source of nuisance. It did seem to be coming from quite high up, which tracks with what the owner says. My question to you is where? Sunroofs, the OE sunroofs have a drain channel set on them that fills up. This car is a non-sunroof car, so we can rule that out straight away. What we can't rule out is the sunroof leaking into the roof cavity. Maybe. I think we're gonna have to waterboard this old boy, unfortunately. Sorry, Maverick. We've got big wet. So there's some sound deadening back here and there's a cavity. I'll have to censor this. What's this like up here? Saturated up there. Well, that's right up next to the dashboard. The wiring itself, wet? Yes. Surely not. This grommet here doesn't look correctly seated. You see how this is there's a shoulder here that seals against the A-pillar. That's the driver's side, which doesn't let water in. Now, so these have a drip moulding and the water can run down straight on to our A-pillar boot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some water, I'm going to straighten this out first, make it a fair test. Maverick, there we go. Right, I'm going to just pour a little bit of water in there and we're going to monitor, because I'll tell you what's happening. I think water's coming down, in, tracking along our wiring harness and running down. And also I think it's able to creep along under really heavy rain onto the fuse box. Happy to admit when I'm wrong? Probably wrong here, but let's find out, because that could be a real easy fix. Okay, time to test the theory. Might not work. There was still washing up liquid in this. All right, let the water do its thing. Okay, we're running out of the bottom of the door, which immediately tells me that the water's following the route of the A-pillar. So it's raining, it's raining, it's raining, it's raining. Right, that's quite a lot of water now. I'm seeing the water run down the A-pillar now. Now obviously this would be sustained water, so down the A-pillar, directly towards the boot between the door and the A-pillar. There's definitely water sitting on that boot. Oh, hello, a little moth. Go there, friend, there's spiders. So, how's this wet? Like wet, wet. I'm not seeing any poodles yet, but they'll be along for the ride shortly. Give us thing, there we go. Okay. Oh yeah, saturated. Yeah, give that a long enough timeline with enough consistent rain, that water's going to be finding itself in. What's under here? Tell me your secrets, Maverick. Really wet there. So, is the water tracking down and going round the side of the seal? Actually not too bad there. Not seeing anything here either. Yeah, we're dry. Okay, the door seal seems to be still doing its job, that's good. When you put your door seals back, please hit them on with a mallet because they won't seal otherwise. In keeping this door seal out of the way, let's have a look behind the vinyl. No, actually bone dry behind there, that's good. We've reseat that and we come back in and really dose it this time. We have to reach in inside the A-pillar, push this out. Time to find out if this is all wet. I think I just dislocated my finger. Yeah, that's saturated. Okay, right, I'll reinstate this off of camera because as you can see, this is bloody fiddly. But from all the sediment sitting around here, look, that's been getting wet for a long time. We've got this grommet back in, that was a chuckle. Right, we're just gonna keep feeding water down this now till we can see what we can see. It's looking better, definitely looking better. It's like a wee bit in reverse, you gotta keep it out. Why don't you get a pressure washer? Because a pressure washer's not gonna help us. Because guess what? The rain doesn't hit the seals at 20 bar. Rainwater is slow and persistent. I'm trying to replicate a good sized shower. That's another 500 ml bottle. That is wet now. Okay, it must be coming from further up then. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You guys know that by now. I'm wrong. It's time to bring out the big guns. Sorry about this, Maverick. That is inside my boots. Yep, I mean, they're wet now. Oh, it can get worse. Still getting worse. And then we're gonna send a load down. I want to overwhelm the seal at this point and make sure that my socks get really wet. I've avoided the sunroof currently because I want to confirm if it is the door. We notice things getting significantly wetter, so that is now doing its job, as far as this guy can tell anyway. Now, I did see something that immediately got my hackles up. When I first met the car, this doesn't look right. There should be seam sealer in there. Now, I'm being ever so gentle. That windscreen rubber's not seated properly. Unpleasant. What's the betting? In fact, I don't even need to be betting. Look at this. See all that calcified crap pushing out the other side of the windscreen? It's tricky because the windscreen's starting to delaminate, but that definitely looks like a sediment track down there, which will be coming in through that bit back there. Sure looks like water tracking to me. And it would run around the back of the seal, down the side of the dash, and bloom outwards, but there's nothing. The insulation's dry. What is going on? This is a mystery. This seam here doesn't have any seam sealer in it, and it should. On any Scirocco, there should be a bead of sealer. It's like an expansion joint. And not only is there not any here, but if you look closely, I'm being ever so gentle, there's a big old gap. So let's flood a load of water in there and I'll bet you our footwell will fill up. Okay, let's boogie because it's starting to rain, ironically. Just gonna slowly pour it in this very specific spot. Yeah, that's draining away way faster than I would expect it to. I'll bet you that all ends up inside. I know you're going to go mental. I will heat the car, dehumidifier, all that good stuff. We need to confirm this fault. We're going from nice and low down now. I'm convinced it's finding its way in there. It looked like it's going round. Let's have a look. It might take a minute to travel. Oh yeah. We've got standing water in there by the look of it. Bingo. No, by all means, drop the torch. See that? Where are you coming from? That looks damp on that seam sealer just there. Right, it was tracking down here. Question is, how's it getting in? Oh! Gotcha, just there. That's where it's coming in. Is it coming from a higher point than that? That looks like a compromised bit of seam sealer to me. Ah, it's soft. I'm gonna go poking here with a screwdriver. Dig that corner out and see what's going on. I am doing my level best with the camera work. I can just barely see up there myself, so what we got? That shouldn't be that sloppy. What's going on here? That's a massive old honking great dolloper seam sealer, and it's wet. All right. This here is our scuttle under the windscreen. There's a plastic tray that waterproofs all of that. This will be the seam up above there. It's not uncommon to see standing water here at all because the main drain for this area is there, that big hole. But we're getting in further up. It's almost like it's coming through that corner. Hang on. Hang on. Is that where that seam sealer's missing, I wonder? Could that be it? Ooh. Well, that looks like it might be it, doesn't it? And then it's running down and gathering here. Right, you're going to think me absolutely mental for that. Obviously, water gets in through there. The thing is, Volkswagen were very, very good at water mitigation. They diverted water where it needed to go so that it would flow sufficiently that it couldn't back up, and therefore, as a cost-saving measure, they didn't have to panic quite so much about waterproofing this, that, and the other. The way this scuttle tray works, water is able to come in through the vents in the bonnet, and it's able to run down the edges of the windscreen seal. It comes over the edge of this inner corner, runs down over the seam sealer there, and it's able to run down into the scuttle where it goes through that hole I pointed out and drains out inside our A-pillar. I'm farting a stink. We got water getting where it shouldn't be getting. Yeah, we've got water running down the back of our scuttle panel. That shouldn't be happening. I'll bet you if we go to the other side of the car, it's going to be dry as a bone. Bingo. Completely bone dry. We have a basic failure to chooch as far as the water mitigation system on this car. Question is it the windscreen rubber or is it this piece here? That's going to take some thinking on. This is working. Yep, that runs down and dribbles off the end of the wing. Anything that finds its way around can go in that way and run out, which it's doing. Very annoyingly, the rain I could have really done with this morning has showed up now while we're making headway. So that's going to be it for today. Annoyingly, I'm going to be back tomorrow because I want to strike while the iron's hot with this old boy. I'm going to say that appears to have done something. We sealed that up and touch wood, I ain't seeing any water. So let's go again. Yeah, already I'm watching it run down that channel, which is what we want. It wasn't doing that before. It was going around underneath the seal. Not looking terrible. I think we've definitely gotten on top of the running down the back of the bulkhead type arrangement. We're still seeing a little bit of water tracking. It might not be the end of the world because as long as it's not tracking the other way and going inside the car, mission accomplished. It looks like it might be dry. Ah, hang on, I spoke too soon. Maverick, I need you to work with me, bud. Although I will say, that looks like it's much less water than there was. Weird, because here, everything looks all right. Hang on, is it getting in from above? I need you guys to be my eyes a second. There. Focus. Aha. That looks like some damaged seam sealer to me. I'll have to review the footage, but smoking gun? Normally in this situation, I'd like to take the parts apart and properly seal everything up / weld things in. You can't get to it. This may have been a manufacturing defect that's reared its head later on. I'm not really sure. The good news is I've got some chemical metal here. It works exactly the same way as body filler. It's resistant to most everything. I use this to fix fuel tanks. So we're just gonna have to put a liberal amount of this in. What I wanna do is seal out here, because there's no sense in sealing the inside of the car if it still leaks, because all that's gonna happen is the water's gonna find its way somewhere else. Going anywhere nice this weekend? Right, hopefully I can get this bad lad up in there. All right, guys, I'm going in. Wish me luck. Ah! Oh, that's unfortunate. Maverick, I'm trying to help you out, bud. Come on, work with me. I'm actually a little worried I'm going to end up becoming one with the car at this rate. I'm going to get that right up into that cavity there. I think I've just found where the leak is. There's a big chunk of missing seam sealer. I'm going to say factory defect, then it's flexed, crumbled and fallen out maybe. I'll try and get it right up there. That was horrible. That was horrible. Still, my knee's wet. The good news is, now, you always leave a bit of excess. We can keep an eye on this, we'll know when it's set. You don't want to be disturbing it while it's still wet, because if you put a lot of water down there, it can move stuff out of the way. It's water resistant, but it's soft. Time to get these wheels off. Great, straight in the puddle. Good. Wowzer. Okay, I'll go and get the breaker bar. Just in case you're wondering, no. 110 Newton meters. No, they don't need to be this tight. Shit. Come on. I'm not as fit as I look. Yeah, look, this grease cap's just a little bit. We'll have a look. I've been thinking. I know. I've got a nice shiny new machine polisher I need to take for a spin. I think this black paint, the vast majority of this, I think will polish out. I tell you what, the rear arches look good. These like to go on the little dog leg on the rear arch, but I mean, that won't help. But I'll tell you what, the other side of that though, it's just nice, smooth metal, which is pretty astonishing on a nigh on 200,000 mile car. I think. I'm just making conversation, all right? Yeah, that shouldn't happen. Okay, we will, fix that. We'll circle back. Right, let me have a, it's my first time having a nosy round. I think he's gonna want tyres, unfortunately. Seeing a lot of crack into the treads. The good news is tyres for Scirocco's dirt cheap. That looks like an aftermarket shock. He's crusty, as is the rear axle. I've got spiders in my hair now, haven't I? Brilliant. Okay, we're not going for perfect. Well, we could go for perfect, but I'm telling you we won't get it. I never claimed to be a paint and body guy. We do need to get this gris off of here. What? I've never in my life. There's the date. January 92. What is interesting, I don't know if it's just that all the GT2s I've come across have had their wheels painted. I don't recall seeing a standard steely wheelie, automobile. It's Grand Theft Auto for anybody interested. With a black centre, but that's definitely paint. That's good though, we got a lot less decontamination to do than I thought we did. Naturally around the edge, still ain't great, but these wheels have a savage seam around the edge, by the way. Even Volkswagen couldn't get enough paint in there. So, you know, Ricky Rattlecan over here is going to do his best. All this is just brake dust and clag. The good news is, again, we haven't got to have a panic attack about the outer edge because there's a beauty ring goes over there and we already took care of that, which is good. I'm going to get some primer on these and I'll be back. All right, I didn't explain it very well, so I'm going to explain it now. We've got our primer, just the first coat of primer on. The tyre wall, I've got a load of this leftover silicone grease for installing poly bushes, which means it's rubber safe. Just smear a bit of that on, Because as we all know, anytime silicone or grease of any sort gets even within 30 miles of anything we're trying to paint, you'll do a really, really nice job of it, then all of a sudden, the paint will all fall off. So, sidewall greased, no grease on there, please. And we should be good to go. It's looking all right so far. Right, while explaining that masking technique, which isn't really a masking technique, you could argue it's a bodge. I've been painting wheels like this for 10 years and I've never once had a problem. That will wipe off, trust me, you'll see in a minute. This absolute specimen also didn't explain to you that I used a 13mm deep socket to cover the tyre valve. That's all going to be hidden by the beauty ring anyway, but, you know, let's at least have some semblance of class here. We're dusting in wheels, we're not getting a perfect concourse paint job. Moment of truth. Time to make a total moron of myself on the internet if this didn't work, but it'll be a first if it hasn't. Et voila. There we go. As you can see, all the overspray just wipes right off. And that's just with a single wipe. Obviously you come back in and give it a little scrub, maybe get a toothbrush involved if you want to be really pernickety, which I will because it's not my car. Has the handy additional side effect of also removing all the dirt off the sidewall, of which there is a lot. I presume this has been throwing some grease around where that grease cap wasn't fitted properly. Comes out under centrifugal force and just fills everybody in. So yep, that's coming up lovely. In fact, for a set of 10-year-old tyres, they've cleaned up really rather well already. I'm not overly worried about the very edge of the rim because again, there's a beauty ring. There you go. That's a quick and dirty homebrew way of masking off wheels that you're about to paint. It's a time saver. It's not the done thing, but it is a time saver. Look at how fresh that wheel looks already. Kyle, can I get a before and after on that? That'll do, won't it? I'm glad that still works. There's nothing worse than doing something a certain way for 10 years and then the minute you got to put it on the internet it goes wrong. Time to run the edges in on our hubcaps. Just going to cast off some of this. The can's almost full, but the nozzle is playing up. It's not blocked. It just doesn't like being asked to do its job. Cool. I'm going to pinch this nail varnish. This is what I use for marking up timing belts and what have you and the such like. Those are brand new trousers. Don't do that. Ooh, that was lucky. The good news is because automotive paint and nail varnish are so similar, I can just put this straight back in the bottle and jobs are good. And all right, this is going to take a hot minute. Time lapse. Now, I'm no paint and body guy. Yesterday, the past, today, looking forward. Look at the difference one wheel has made. God, I get so much satisfaction out of doing stuff like this. The good news is, it's now about to hammer down with rain. And I've run out of time. I was dilly-dallying, my bad. All right, guys, cross everything. Did that work? Anything? Everybody seems dry. See what we got going on up here. Melt. Oh, this leak is 18 years old and I think we finally killed it. Yes. Hopefully this has given you a little idea as to where we're going with Maverick. Look how much more mint this car looks for a simple single wheel being refreshed like that. It's not perfect, should last fairly well, and if it doesn't, it's some silver paint. And just go back in and or a bit of clear coat. I don't personally like clear coat in silver wheel paint. It never seems to go right. It always seems to make it go a bit grey. I'll leave that up to the owners. The important thing is, look at him. He's going to scrub up great. I'm looking forward to sorting all this paint out I don't think there's as much bodywork needed as it might initially seem. In lieu of the fact that we don't have an intake manifold gasket, we can't fix the running issue today. It's going to be next week, and I don't want you guys waiting around. So we've solved the leak. Happy days. I checked the rear wheel bearing. Everything seems happy there, so it was just the grease cap had pinged off. These things do happen. So next week, we're going to get these wheels finished. We're going to give Maverick a really, really good cut and polish. I think he's going to scrub up nice. Nice shiny black paint. Nice fresh silver wheels. We'll put the interior back together, and hopefully by then our intake manifold gasket will have showed up. I really wanted to get a bit more mechanical work done on Maverick this week, but there's just no accounting for it, is there? I know I ordered the right part. I've ordered many, many, many of those intake manifold gaskets. I know for a fact I ordered the right thing. Someone just put the wrong thing in the box. What can you do? I'm starting to get somewhere now. Join us next time. Thanks for watching. Oh, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. You can do all that stuff around here. If you want to see more videos, they're around as well. I'll catch you soon.